Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. We are back here today, and today we have a good episode. Now, it is the international break. Not a lot happening during the international break, especially when it's like the Nations League and everything like that. You know, like it's a Walmart trophy. But we're going to take a look at the teams in Europe. We're going to come up with our power ranking, okay? So this is based off of this season as of right now. Each of us have compiled our lists, and we are going to go through from 10th all the way to 1st and see, according to each and every one of us, who is the best team in Europe as of right now.
I look at this list and I'm like, there's 2 or 3 teams that are just killing it, which we're going to get to. And then the rest, I'm like, none of y'all deserve these spots.
Yeah.
Like 7 to 10 is like.
But that's the beauty of it, though. You never know what can happen literally in like a month or a couple of months or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to start off in 10th spot. All right.
Yeah, so number 10 was a toss up between Eintracht Frankfurt or Villarreal. So I really couldn't choose between those two. But I'm going to go with Frankfurt. Okay. Obviously, you know, Omar Marmoush is just killing it there. Hugo Ekitike signed from Paris. Just a baller. They're top 4 in the Bundesliga. The last round of games that they've been good. They lost to Bayern Leverkusen, which is always a tough task to do. I think 2-1. They had a big draw against Bayern Munich, so they're on a tear. We'll see how they finish the season, whether it's top 4 or not. But I got on track there.
So basically, before we even get there, I need to start dissing my club because we've been absolutely dog when it comes to the Champions League. And if there's a French team that ever deserves to be in this top 10, it's going to be Lille. And that's what I put in 10th. Surprisingly, they haven't been the best domestically. They are still in the top 4, exactly where I predicted them in 4th. And the reason I have them in 10th is specifically because of the UCL. They've had 4 tough games, and they've come up with 7 points. They lost to Sporting in their first game. Tough, but I mean, like, hey, Man City got clapped by them. Lille only lost 2-0. So they played both Madrid's teams, and beat both of them. And they also played Juve, which, I mean, I know it's not the Juve of old, but this is a Juve team that's, you know, building again, and they are going to be challenging for a Serie A title this year. So just because of that UCL form, I have to put them there.
With my list, I know we said we're doing the form with which teams have been in form, but I think it wouldn't be too genuine to just zero in on the form of, you know, the past 10 games and kind of rank this team. So a lot of it is based on form, the ranking I have, but I'm still looking at the teams a little bit in context, you know, in the past few months, maybe a season or so. Just disclaimer, some of the not in the 10th spot, but just like going forward, you'll see some of mine. Okay. I've actually had Napoli at 10.
Okay.
I know I know that this might sound mad, like they're leading Serie A, I think, but they have no European game. I think they finished like 10th.
Yeah, they don't have any European games.
So like, 1 game a season, but I mean they're still doing well. They're above Inter. I'm putting them just at 10. They're doing okay, you know. McTominay is kind of cooking it up there, you know. So. But
actually he's cooking it over there, bro.
He actually is. And what does that tell you? Is he a good player, or is it a Serie A?
Or is Man United just ass? I don't know. It could be either or.
He was cooking with us. Hey, he was clutch.
That brother's the reason Ten Hag had another season with you guys.
Oh man.
I just want to add, like, Napoli was in my honorable mention as well, because I wanted to put them in there, but because, as you mentioned, no European football, so for them it's a little bit of an easier season. And like, they are leading the Serie A, but I think it's like 1 point between first to 6th.
It's like 26, 25.
Yeah. So I was like, I want to put them in, but I'm like, let's give it to a few more teams. But definitely, like,
10th could have been
if it wasn't going to be Lille. Yeah. If it wasn't Lille for me, it was going to be Napoli in 10th.
Fair enough, yeah. 10th literally could have been a lot of teams.
Interesting.
Who did you have?
All right. I want to start off before I made my list. I'll be honest with you. I did my list literally like 30 minutes ago or something like that.
Me too.
And I went through all the different teams, all right? Now, the only thing is, the difficult part for me was I would say like 15 teams in total that I think could have been in the top 10 in regards to like the last 3 or 4 spots. It was between like, I would say like 6 teams or something like that for me. Like, honorable mention, I had Frankfurt and Lille were my honorable mentions. They sadly did not make it. So 10, I actually had, I don't know if anyone had them, but I did. I had Chelsea at 10.
That's a good mention.
That's a good show.
That's a good show, yeah.
The way that they've been performing, I mean, I know they haven't been lighting up the league, but the way they've been performing, 10th is not a
very form like related spot, right?
I was taking a look at it, right? And it's Conference League or whatever. They're killing it, obviously. Like, they're probably gonna win it, favorites. They're top 4 in the Prem right now, right? I think they're are they fourth if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, I think they should be 4th.
They're 4th. They're ahead of Arsenal and some big teams as well, where we probably didn't think that would be placed. And also, I was looking at their past fixtures or whatever, and they played some tough teams in the EPL, and they did fairly well. Like, okay, so they drew against Arsenal, right? They drew against United. They won against Newcastle.
They played Spurs.
Liverpool, they lost. I don't know as of right now, but Nottingham, they tied Nottingham. They won against Brighton. They won against West Ham. They won against Bournemouth. Like, these are some good teams in the EPLs, like Nottingham. They didn't lose against, like I said, who was it? United and whatnot.
Yeah.
They only lost against Liverpool, who are like arguably the most informed team in Europe right now. So honestly, I think they're doing very well with Enzo Maresca, and I think they're deserving of a top 10 shout right now.
For the teams they face,
Yeah.
they're pretty well
exactly.
where they are in the league. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. 9th. Amirali, who did you have in 9th?
I had Leverkusen. Maybe they could have been higher, like it might be a little bit unfair. Because like I'm looking at my list, I'm looking at all these other teams, and then I'm looking at Leverkusen, just what they've done. Also, obviously last season, but also like kind of pulling through this season. They're not going to be invincible. We all know that. I think they're still top. They're 4th in Bundesliga. In Champions League, they're not very high up, but it's very close. So like the points, they're not that off. Like even if you're like 10th or 12th, like you're still like 3 or 4 points off. So like they're doing pretty well in there too. But I've put them 9th.
Eris, who did you have in 9th?
So I actually had Naeem's team, Frankfurt, in 9th. I think they've been doing amazing.
I thought this guy meant Milan, bro, for a second. But
No,
they got close.
But like he said, Marmoush and Ekitike have been killing it. They've had some amazing run of games, not just in the Bundesliga, but also in Europa League. I think they're 4th right now. They've got 3 wins and a draw. They had that 7-2 against. I know it's Bochum, and like they're farmers, but whatever. You know what I mean? Like still 7-2 is 7-2.
Yeah.
And they did have that 3-3 draw with Bayern. So I mean, if you can do that to Bayern, I feel like that's worthy of a spot in the top 10.
True. That's crazy though. This guy called the Bundesliga team of farmers. What are the Liga man, bro?
brother, listen. I said
League was better.
Bochum.
Better.
No. I'm just saying Bochum compared to like other teams in the Bundesliga. I'm relative to their own league. I mean,
okay.
If we're talking Dortmund, Leverkusen, Leipzig compared to Bochum, you know what I mean? I don't mean the Bundesliga teams are farmers. I
can't even this Liga, bro. They slapped us this year. Naeem, who'd you have in 9th?
I have Atalanta. So Atalanta, they're top 3, just firing on all cylinders. And as you guys know, they're a very offensive-minded team. They're all pure attack. So Retegui, he's got the most goals and assists in Serie. He's a top scorer. And then his supporting cast is just as likable. Adam Lukman and Charles Ketelari. Having a good season. They have 0 goals conceded in the Champions League. So 2 draws, 2 wins, I think a draw, which is impressive. And 31 goals scored in Serie, making them the highest scoring team in the league. So number 9 of Atalanta.
I think I had this team fairly low. But anyways, 9th, I have Inter Milan.
That's pretty low. But
yeah,
we're not complaining.
That is pretty low. Looking back at it, I probably have them higher as of right now. But yo, listen, they're not leading the Serie A. They're off by 1 point, I know, but still, like in the UCL, I'm taking a look at it. They are decently placed, so I think I probably should have had them higher.
Yeah, they're pretty high.
Looking at it now,
Couple of results against Man City and Arsenal too.
They're 5th. Yeah.
4th or 5th. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should have had them higher. I can't lie. That's a blunder for me. I'm gonna stick by it. We'll be back at this prediction in a month's time.
We're back in December.
Yeah. But as of right now, I have Inter Milan as 9th. 8th, Naeem, who did you have 8th?
This was a toss-up between Monaco or Brest. Right, so I'm going to go Monaco here, just purely because of how well they're doing in the Champions League. They had the huge win against Barcelona. They have some really good wingers like Benzagir and I think the other guys, Akaluche. They're just super fast, super young team. Exciting watch. And then Takumi Minamino, who I just found out is still there. I think like they're doing well in the league too. I think they're top 4 just based off how high they're doing in both those competitions, and they're an exciting team to watch. I have them on 8th.
8th right now, who I have based on recent form and 4 straight losses, is Man City. If we had done this list, let's say 3-4 weeks ago, before that happened, Man City would have easily been top 5 for everybody. Right?
Yeah.
After that 4 straight losses is crazy. Getting knocked out of the. I mean, I know it's the Carabao Cup. Like, not too many people care about it, but still getting knocked out that early to Spurs, who's like basically their kryptonite every year. Then losing to what was it, Brighton and Bournemouth, right? Or am I mistaken?
Bournemouth was there,
right? And then getting clapped by Sporting as well, like in Amiram's last UCL game for Sporting. So I don't know. They are falling off a cliff right now. I know it's still Man City. Like, we're gonna come back in three months' time. They're gonna be on like a 20-game win streak. Who knows? But right now, current form, I can't put them higher than 8.
Amirali.
I actually had Villa at 8. Listen, I'm a little bit of a Premier League bias here. Like, I watch a lot of Premier League. My list is probably it is mostly Premier League. Villa started the season really well, and I know they're not doing too well in the Prem, right about mid-table, but like they've been back in the Champions League after 20 years, maybe more actually. What am I saying? 30 years.
They're doing well.
They're doing well. I think they're in that like zone of going to the next stage. They beat Bayern,
they have like 3 wins, 1 loss.
They beat Bayern of all teams. Again, there was a lot of honorable mentions. I don't think any of the teams you guys mentioned is not worthy of it, but I just kind of like what Villa and Mr. Mr. Good Evening has been doing
Good
there.
evening.
So
Good
evening,
evening,
like,
bro.
no offense to him, honestly, like he's been killing it there. So I think
8th, I had Bayern actually. Top of the league. I don't think that's a big surprise. Like, it's very rare for Bayern to not be smashing the league 2 years in a row. In the predictions that I had about Bundesliga, I had them to win it as well. So no surprise there for me. UCL, bro, they're 17th right now. If they were better in the UCL, they would probably be higher up.
Yeah.
They lost to Villa. They got spanked by us as well, which I loved. But I don't know. I think they probably are, though, one of the favorites to win the UCL, in my opinion, even though they've had, like, not the best start as of right now. And, like, a lot of people don't really rate Company, but me, I'm not, like, wowed by him, but I think he can do a decent job with them. So
I think Company's inexperience is going to show though in the knockout stages.
probably
yeah,
like, it
Against
could
the
happen,
more
yeah.
tenured
But
managers.
from 8th, we move on to 7th. Eris, who did you have in 7th?
Oh, dear God. This is where you're gonna hate me because I'm gonna put a team here that you're probably gonna say doesn't belong in the top 10. I have Madrid.
Okay, bro. I
Real
thought you were gonna
Madrid.
say. Oh, yeah, I don't care about that, bro. I
have
thought you were
Real
gonna say.
Madrid.
The only reason I would hate you if you had Barca 7th, bro.
No,
Then I would be like, what the hell?
Okay, listen. I don't like Barca, but I'm not delusional. Come on now.
Yeah.
Madrid at 7th.
Real Madrid at 7th. I wanted to have them higher because technically, like, if we look at them in the league, they still have a game in hand, and they're only 6 points behind Barca. Assuming they win that against Valencia, it's Valencia, right? Because that's why it was
Yeah.
because of the flooding.
Yeah,
that,
Yeah.
Assume they win that, they're 3 points behind Barca. It's still anyone's, league title to win or to lose. The Champions League is what really brings them down. The losses to Milan, the loss to Lille, like those. I'm sorry, Madrid shouldn't be doing that. Like against those teams, they should be winning. They should.
Slapped them up.
That's what I mean. Like,
It was a
don't get me wrong.
yeah,
it was
a
beautiful.
contest.
It was beautiful to watch. It was beautiful
The
for all of us
3-1,
to watch.
yeah,
But
it
like,
was.
you're Madrid. You the players you guys have, and also you're not utilizing them to their full potential. I'm still every video. I'm gonna keep mentioning this. Mbappe
Uncomfortable
needs to play.
conversation.
Mbappe needs to play off of the left. You can't be playing him as a striker. Play him off
We're
of the
bringing
left.
Ancelotti
Like,
on
I
the
know you have
podcast,
Vinny, but you got to figure something out because it won't work. You can't keep playing Mbappe down the middle. Those two big losses in the Champions League, and then next I think they have Liverpool in the Champions League, right?
Do they?
Or am I wrong?
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
At Anfield.
Next week.
So I'm putting that down probably as a loss for them too, based on current form. So that's really hurting them, and that's why like 7th. I'm like, yeah, if they were doing a bit better in the Champions League, I'd have them top 5, but I can't.
I couldn't have them in there, bro, just because of the
Yeah,
way
me
they've been
neither.
playing, man.
And
Really?
that's
You
fine.
guys didn't
That's what I
have
mean.
Real Madrid in there?
I don't have Madrid.
They're
I
playing
had
that
to have
shit,
them
bro.
lower.
Why would I have
I mean,
them?
that,
No, they
okay,
are
that's
playing-
where I guess
like-
the whole form thing from. Well, I'll explain it. Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I had them 7th, and I feel like that's still too high. I probably should put them like 9th or 10th, is literally because in the league, assuming they win that game against Valencia, which I think they will, they're only going to be 3 points behind Barca. So I
Yeah,
have to.
I see
have them
that, and
do
I was
something.
thinking about that, but like, bro, like I watch them every game. They don't play well, man.
I know they
Courtois
don't
is
play
the
well.
reason that they're so
Even
close
the
to us right
even
now.
the wins that you see,
they didn't have
grind
Courtois-
out wins. Outside of that Dortmund game, the 5-2, there hasn't been like something that's been like, wow, holy shit.
Yeah.
They've been like grinding
Their
out.
best
wins.
game is probably honestly their best like full 90 game was their last game against who was it?
Osasuna, right? 4-0.
That was the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
game of the season where they played like the full 90.
Mhm.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Dortmund, the second
The
half
comeback,
was
yeah.
up there, the 45, but the first half was
that if
terrible.
anything, that wasn't them. That was kind of like Sahin kind of messing up the
he
tactics.
Two-
fucked
two
it up
on
as
the-
well.
If anything,
Yeah.
Madrid didn't win that game. Dortmund lost that game. If
Yeah.
we're looking at it.
Yeah.
in that-
But
in
listen,
that kind
hey, Madrid, the thing with them is they can
they are Madrid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's
they
why
can
they're
come up
Madrid.
fairly quickly, right? Like we can do our power rankings the next one, and they
They might
can
be like
be-
second.
yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
7th, I
like-
think, is the highest, absolute highest I can put them right now. So
Amirali.
Yeah, I
Seven.
have Bayern, so you had them 8th, I
Yeah.
think. Ken?
Yeah, I had
so,
them
I
8th,
mean,
yeah.
there's not much to say. I know they're leading Bundesliga, but it's Bundesliga. The reason they're like that low is because they're very low in the Champions League, right? So expected them to do
Yeah.
a little bit better than that. So they, I think 7's fair for now. I don't know. I want to see them do better. I want to see them go further in the Champions League. Let's see what Company does.
So the team that none of you probably have, which I have as 7th, is Fiorentina. So they have Rafael Palladino. They're having a really good season. They got some big results
Yeah.
against Milan, Lazio. They spanked Rome out of the park, just 5-1. Moise Kean is having his best season of all time. He got a hat trick in the last game. He has David De Gea just
De Gea
rolling back
assisted
the
him,
years.
Yeah.
right?
He's
Rolling
having-
back the years.
he's
That
having
brother's
his-
arguably one of the best goalkeepers in Europe right now, bro.
Like, what's going on?
bro.
He's having a really good season, man. Like statistically and eye test, he had a really good game against us. And they have Yassine Adli and Robin Gosens signed from Milan and Inter, I'm pretty sure. So only one loss in the league. So and they're also playing Conference League as well. They had a loss in the Conference League, but again, like they're playing in Europe and the league, and I think they're doing pretty well, being third.
They might
So,
win
yeah.
that, like against Chelsea. Like
I mean,
That's a
if
good
they go to the
conference.
final
That's
and lose
Yeah.
3 finals in a row in the Conference League, that's going to be so heartbreaking.
wait,
Because they lost
two?
the last.
Oh,
Yeah, they lost the
okay.
last. West Ham, they lost against Olympiacos, right? So like, if they go to the final,
so
let's
it's
say against
third, yeah.
Chelsea, and they lose, but
Yeah.
that would be so devastating.
That would be actually crazy.
that'd be
Watch De
sick.
Gea make
But,
like crazy penalty saves.
Fiorentina, good shout. They were my honorable
Yeah.
mentions. Like
Honorable
for me,
mention
they
as
were
well,
like
yeah.
12th or something like that when I was doing my list. Very good shout. I had a team that has already been mentioned, and it is no other than Manchester City. 4 L's in a row, bro. That brought them down. Like Eric said, if we were doing this like a couple of weeks ago or something like that, they would probably be like, arguably, you could even argue they were like in the top 3. And it's not just that; it's just the way that they're playing as well.
Yeah,
they're not playing that like breathtaking city way. You know what I mean? And obviously, a
Suffocating.
big reason for that is the Ballon d'Or winner, his injury. But it's gonna be interesting because as of right now, they don't look the same team as before, and it's gonna be interesting to see if Pep has the solution for it. He probably will, because knowing him, he's a maniac. But as of right now, I had them in at 7th. All right, 6th.
Already mentioned you guys already mentioned him. Bayern, I had him in 6th. The UCL is really what lets them down because they're killing it in the league and they're doing amazing. All the players are gelling really well, especially in the league. The UCL, the one thing that hurts, obviously, the Barca loss. The Aston Villa loss, like if we looked at the game, Bayern dominated that game. It was a similar case again. I'm gonna go back to my club.
Yeah,
if you watch the PSG
can't lie,
games,
Emi Martinez that game
saved. Yeah,
Emi
that's what I mean.
Martinez.
It was similar to like every single
Clutch.
PSG game in the UCL this season. They had it against Aston Villa. They should have probably won that. And if they had won that, I feel like they'd probably be a little bit higher on my ranking. 6 is the best I can put them because of their record in the UCL. Hopefully they can bring it up because it would be nice to see a strong Bayern team put up a nice fight in the UCL again. So
this is where my list kind of goes off the rail from maybe what you guys have because of
have
all
Man
the
United.
form. No, I can't have Man United. No. Just turn off the computer. No, but seriously. No, United's not on my list, just for everyone's sake.
So far, with the new coach, you never know.
It actually is not. I'll say that. United is not on my list, but this is where things start, you guys may question it because of form and everything. But like I said at the beginning, disclaimer, the list is a little bit based off form, but also, I look at I have Arsenal at 6. Look, I know they've been doing terrible. Like, their players, I think, I think Odegaard was training. He's coming back. They get their full team back. Like, I'm looking at, so I have them 6. Are they the 6th best team in Europe? I mean, I don't know. If they're fully fit and in form,
yeah, if they're fully fit.
I don't think that's unfair to say.
And not making dumb decisions. Like, if you remember, they had that span. It was like 3 red cards in 8 games. Like,
the Reds or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
For a team of Arsenal's caliber, I'm sorry, you can't be doing that. So, like, if they're not making those mistakes, I agree with you. They would easily be up there.
And then they go and they blame anything else, bro. Except
Jurgen Klopp stuff, bro. The wind was against us today or something.
the grass was too tall. Yeah, but I'm still okay with having them at 6. I think 6 is fair. So let's see how they do.
So 6th, I was deciding between should I put Man City or should I put Juventus, and decided on Juventus because they still haven't lost in Serie A, surprisingly so. I think they early on in the season they had a run of games where they just didn't concede a goal. Mata was really short up the defense. I think defensively they're one of the best teams in the world, but the issue with Juventus is that they keep drawing games. Like they're selling out games. But the reason why I don't have Man City in my top 10 is because of the 4 losses recently. Especially Sporting. The Sporting game was, man, I watched it was like, this is not Man City.
Bro, he's that pussy in defense, bro.
Crazy, bro. That's crazy.
But I just can't see, like, the reason I put Juventus over City is I can't see Juventus conceding, 4 or 5 goals to Sporting. So I'm gonna go with Juventus. And they have a big game against Milan coming up. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I think a big thing for Juve is the track record and defense. Bremer, the injury that he got, right? That impacted them a lot, right? So but yeah, Juve, they've had a pretty good season so far, I would say, actually. So that's not like a shock or anything to have them in your top 10, honestly. 6, I had Atalanta 6. They've been killing it, bro. Yeah, Atalanta, like they've been killing it. Serie top 4, right?
Second to 5th, I think, or 4th is goal difference. And then
they're all on the same points, but I think goal difference
is
they're plus 16 or something. So they're second.
But Napoli's ahead of everyone by
Napoli's
1 point.
By 1 point,
Yeah, exactly. And then so bro, second. Like, a lot of people would have had them maybe in their top 4 or something like that in Serie A, potentially, but like second. Like they're doing a very, very, very good job. And I was a little bit concerned with them when they played the Super Cup or whatever against Real Madrid. They weren't their best that game, especially my fellow Albanian man in defense, Jimshiti. He was
Jimshiti,
shit. Yeah, that brother was shit that game. But big up Shipa regardless. Yeah, they've been solid, man. Like, there's not much to say about them,
And
I think.
one thing to note is that they lost to Coop Miners, their best midfielder last season to Juventus.
Yeah,
and then they covered that up with Lazarus and Marzic, who's just filled in efficiently. So
alrighty, now we are going into our top 5. All right, so this is where it's gonna get interesting.
So I had Real Madrid. Listen, because you guys are all thinking.
I thought I was being like
listen,
super generous.
We're talking about Champions League heritage, guys. Champions League heritage.
This man said heritage.
We're gonna sit here at the end of the
laughing
season
right now.
We're gonna sit
here. Scenes of these mans win like a double or some shit like that.
We're gonna sit here in May. They're gonna have their like fucking 15th Champions League final or whatever. What am I saying? 15th Champions. They're gonna be on their way to their 16th. No, seriously, listen. I know like form wise they've been pretty bad, but they're like 3 points, basically 3 points off top. In Serie in La Liga. They've been bad, and I know this past couple of games just before the international break, they got owned in the Champions League. Obviously, after the El Clasico, it just looked very bad for them, but
they're 18th right now in the UCL. I'm praying they don't make even playoffs. I know it's
left?
not gonna happen.
Can someone tell me how many more games left?
There's another four. We're only halfway
through.
Halfway?
There's 8, so yeah.
Oh wow,
we're halfway
through.
through.
There's a lot of games left, guys. Come on.
Yeah, but Anfield, Liverpool, and then I'm pretty sure they have
Atalanta. They have Atalanta.
They have Atalanta as well away. I think
both away.
Yeah,
those are
Both
tough,
away.
obviously, but
if they lose those 2, they got 2 games left to get like.
I can't not put Real Madrid.
Like I said, you never know with power rankings. A lot can change in like a month or two.
Like my list up is like, if you look at it at the end of the season, you'd be like, yeah, maybe that's fair.
I had Napoli as my 5th. They're having a good season, as some of you mentioned earlier. Antonio Conte led system. You know what you get with an Antonio Conte team. The midfield 3 that they have is a very good shout. That they have Lobotka, Azam Magisa, and Scott McTominay. The closest thing I can relate that midfield to is the Croatian midfield of Brozovic, Modric, and who's the other one? Brozovic, Modric, and Rakitic. That's right.
Yeah.
Before or right now? It's Kovacic if we're doing right now.
Kovacic. It was Kovacic. So like that midfield 3, I thought was very good in the World Cup, and I compared the Napoli midfield 3 to that 3. It's just so well balanced. Where you have Zamba Gisa being the 8, he's a box to box, and then Lobotka's a regista. He's playing behind them, and Scott McTominay obviously has that freedom to go up and do his thing. Big thing I want to note is that Kvicha Kvaratskhelia has, he kind of had a lackluster season last season, but Conte has him back at his very best. And then Amir Rahmani at the back. So I think they're just a good watch. Napoli,
my fellow Albanian.
Yeah, there you go. And the Napoli are they're top of the league, man. I think they're a shout for winning it all at the end of the season.
5th, I had Monaco. Monaco 5th for me. Top 4 in Liga. They're killing it as of right now in the UCL. They are 3rd. They haven't lost a game. I know they haven't played the biggest of teams, I guess, but they did play us. It's just with what I've seen in the UCL from them, mainly. They play very, very well, bro. I love the way that they play. They're very aggressive, like their wingers or whatever, like the young dudes that they have over there. I really like them. Yeah, I just really like them as a team so far. And like they have the results to show it as well. So
for my 5th, this is the only team I have outside of the top 5 leagues that's in my top 5, in my top 10, and it's Sporting. They are absolutely killing it. Okay, 17 games this season, 16 wins, 1 draw, no losses. And those games, they've clapped Man City, as we mentioned, 4-1. They beat Lille, which I had in my top 10, and that was the only loss that Lille suffered. They've been doing insane. Obviously, they just lost their manager, so who knows what will happen in the next 2/3 of the season. But based on current form, you can't ignore that. That's 17 games unbeaten, with 16 of them being wins, and slapping Man City. This is the one out of the top 5 leagues, the one team that isn't in the top 5 leagues that's making my top 10. They've just been absolutely insane.
Amarali's getting a boner right now, bro, hearing all about it.
Sorry, is Portugal not in top 5? I thought they were.
No, they are. Are they 6th or 7th, or is Eredivisie 6th?
I think they're 6th. So 4th.
Backing off on Aris's point, Sporting Lisbon, man, for the longest time they've been under the shadow of Porto and Benfica. But they got the main man Victor Gyökeres.
I love that celebration. It's so cold, bro. That's so cold, bro. So cold, bro. That celebration's so cold, bro. So cold. Dude, I think it's my favorite celebration, bro.
Did you see that video where the little kid realizes it's him and just goes immediately? That was so cool, bro. That's so cool.
Is that Bane, by the way? What he's doing?
Yeah, it's Bane. It's Bane.
I believe so. Yeah.
I didn't care who I was before I put on the mask or something.
Yeah, he saw that on Instagram.
He has good taste.
He's like 30 plus goals this season. Obviously Trinchell's having a good season. Marcus Edwards as well as his deputy. Pedro Goncalves, another show. He's probably going to go to a bigger club sometime this summer. DeBas in the back. And there's another player that
their center back, Ignacio, right? He's been holding it down in the back as well.
Yeah.
Diamande, whatever. His name is. No, they have
Yeah.
solid team, like
How
a solid
he's
team
gonna stay
overall.
though before Amorim, snatches them.
Takes him up for
That's a good
United,
question.
bro.
Amorim wanted to come in the summer, by the way, because of
Yeah, of course, yeah. But they're not picking up anyone from Sporting in January.
I don't
He
think
said
so.
that himself.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That would be
So
so.
Arsenal, if you're
imagine he
listening,
does
you
that.
got to get Gyökeres in January. Otherwise, you might lose him.
Amorale,
Yeah,
who'd you have?
Sporting.
Surprise
I had
me,
Sporting
baby.
as well.
Sporting, okay.
So something everybody agrees on. No, Sporting.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're the only team undefeated all competition, flawless in the league. It's not just undefeated. And in
Mhm.
Champions League, they're like second, only to Liverpool. Maybe they could have been higher. Like if you want to just look at purely form, but I think fourth is reasonable. I hope they'll go on and have a good season, even though we took their their number one.
It's crazy, bro.
But,
A United man saying
he
that.
really wanted to stay because you could tell he actually liked those guys, like Jim Ratcliffe and
Now
the
or
fans
never.
were like now or never, yeah. Which you know what, when United comes and calling, you gotta pack your shit and go. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But
How'd that work out for your last coach, bro? You guys
this is
came calling,
different.
and
This
then
is
that
this is
brother
the last
ain't getting a
time I'm
job
saying
now,
this,
bro.
but this is different.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
For his
Otherwise,
mental
we're all
sanity,
done.
watch,
We're
bro.
done.
For his
I don't
mental
have-
sanity, it has to be, bro.
I don't have another one in me, man. I don't have another one.
Come to the Blaugrana side, bro. Switch up like Parsa. Don't worry, we'll treat you well.
So I had Atalanta fourth. That's why I was so shocked when some guys had it really
Show.
low. Bro, they're insane right now. I don't know, bro. Atalanta, just something about Gasperini. He knows what he's doing with that team. He has the experience with them.
Yeah,
And he's not just doing it in the league. Like I know I mentioned Atalanta. Sorry, not Atalanta. Napoli was one of my honorable mentions, but because they don't have European competition, I couldn't put them in my top 10, and then I had them as an honorable mention. Atalanta's doing it in Europe as well, right? I think the first game was against Arsenal. They held them to a draw, which I mean, looking at Arsenal's current form isn't like something crazy to brag about, but like it's still Arsenal, and you did that.
Yeah,
they've been playing really well. Like I said, I still stick by. I think they're going to get top 4 in Serie A. They're not going to finish top 8 in the group stage of the Champions League, but I think they're going to finish in like that, like 10 through 13 spot somewhere there. I think they're going to end up doing pretty well. So
fourth, I had Napoli. Listen, I was going through the list, and I know that they don't have in Europe or anything like that, but I'll be honest with you, not a lot of mans had faith in Napoli. When we did our predictions, your boy had faith in them, though. I think I had them third. So, bro, like Conte has completely changed them. You know what I mean? So, Lukaku is doing very well. I don't know, from the games that I've watched them play, I just like how they play overall, bro. A lot of grit, a lot of like, it's typical
Good
Conte
football.
side, I would say. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're getting, unless you see him at Spurs, I guess. You know what you're getting overall from that man.
Exactly.
Proven in Seriea, bro, and they're just killing it as of right now. Like I said, I don't know if they will win it. I still think Inter will win it eventually. It's gonna be very exciting. I hope they make it back into like the UCL to see them back in Europe and stuff like that, because they deserve to be in European competitions, in my opinion. But yeah. Now we are entering our top 3.
Podium.
Okay, Eris, who'd you have third?
Third, as I mentioned, we're going to get to this team. Same form as Atalanta, Inter. They have been killing it, not just in the league, but also in the UCL. First game, they drew City, right? That 0-0. Everyone says it's a bore fest, but again, that was City, like, first game of the UCL before all these, like, some of these big injuries. They were able to hold them off. Arsenal, they countered them perfectly. They sat back, did their thing, like, just played that rugged, like, Italian football where they just defend. They got their penalty, scored, and they sat back and defended it. I know a lot of people don't like that. I love defensive football because I grew up watching the Serie A, right? So, like, to me, it was prime, Maldini's, Nestas, Cannavaro's, all these players, right? This is what I grew up watching. So to me, a 1-0 win is, like, so beautiful and so satisfying.
That's why you love Simeone, right? You love him, no?
That's why I like Simeone and Mourinho. I love defensive master classes, bro. Defensive master classes are the best because it's basically like
This is why this guy loves Mourinho, yeah, as well.
I'm gonna hold back. I'm gonna make sure you can't do anything, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm gonna score on that counter, and I'm gonna piss you off the entire game. Yeah, I love defensive master classes, bro. Top tier.
This guy's getting horny. Chill, bro. Amorale, who'd you have third?
What is this third? Okay, listen. We can't think about no. Listen. We can't make a power ranking team without putting City in there, man. Forget the last 4 games. Listen, you can't forget it. The Fexers. We're gonna be sitting here in a few months' time. They're gonna win 20 games in a row.
Man, that's
20
the thing with
games in a
City,
row.
though.
They're gonna
Like,
win
I
it.
see where he's coming from.
They probably will. He's not wrong.
I say 20 games in a row. That sounds mad, but they do it every season. You know what?
Once January hits, bro, those mans are gonna.
They're so bad that they're second in the league, 5 points only.
Yeah.
You know? They're not doing too well in the Champions League, but they're still they're not like 25th or whatever. They're still within that. They're a few points from making that automatic qualification. So I know based off form, they've just been absolutely horrible. and it's like hard not to like look at form 4 games in a row. Like you said with Pep, he's like a madman. I think I was watching one of his interviews. Like he was cherishing that. He's like he liked the challenge. He's like, yeah, he's never been in that situation. Like 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Man City hasn't been in that. I think like
That's the thing, though. I mentioned like for you Pep haters or you EPL lovers or whatever. I'm
that's
like,
why I'm putting it like
you guys don't want City to be in this position right now because he's gonna want to stay there and turn this around.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean?
Yeah, like the reason I have City third is because of Pep and what I've seen them to do in the past few years.
But anyways,
I agree with you. It's still Man City. Like you
It's still
said,
Man
they
City,
can come
yeah.
back and do something crazy. But on current form, 8th was the best.
I agree. Yeah, if you made this episode like 2 months ago or a month ago, they'd be like 5th, 4th, 3rd, or whatever.
That's the thing. Like, not even, bro. Like, if you literally made it probably like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
So maybe if you
2
do
weeks ago, they would be
2 weeks later.
Yeah,
go on a crazy
This episode was
run.
postponed. Yeah,
That's crazy, but yeah, this one is a delayed one or something like that.
You know what I mean? This is gonna go out by the time like they're doing
Great.
good. And we're gonna
This guy's using his list from 2 weeks ago.
No, but I think saying
man.
City's third is not that crazy, guys. I don't know. Maybe that's just me,
Yeah.
though.
No. Yeah. I see the
Even
vision. I
with
see the
form,
vision.
I'm saying like
I see the vision.
They're
This guy's
second.
investing, bro. It's like a Bitcoin investing. You know what I mean? Like
No,
he's ahead
but,
of
I
the
mean,
curve.
yeah, bro.
Bitcoin investment would be if I said City like 10, 15 years ago. There's
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Naeem, yeah, third. Would you
I
have?
hate to say it.
Oh,
but
Inter then.
It's Inter
Yeah.
Milan. If you just look at the run of games that they have, they had two big results in the Champions League, the City draw, and then obviously the Arsenal win. But if you just look at the run of games from when the season started, they have one-off, you call it a freak result, and that was the loss against Milan in the derby. Other than that, like, it's just they haven't lost the game. But like, I just want to shout out to Alessandro Bastoni. He's, people talk about the Buongiornos and the Calafioris, but man, Bastoni's been killing it. He's been
Bastoni's
killing it for the past
class.
few seasons. He has a touch of fucking a midfielder. Like, I have a Spanish midfielder that I want to that plays for Barca. That's his touch, man. But
Yeah.
no, Bastoni's been killing it because he doesn't have the locks or the flows of Calafiori or a cool name like Buongiorno.
Because these mans don't want to sleep with him
Yeah,
like
he looks
Calafiori, bro.
up to the top of it. He doesn't have aura. But no, Bastoni's been having a really good season, man. He's for me, he's the best defender in the Serie A, and he has been for quite a few seasons now.
Agreed. One of my
I think
favorite
he's
Italian
top
players
5
right
in the
now.
world, in my opinion. CBs.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bro, the more you guys talk about Inter, there has to be a reason because everything that you're saying, I was thinking about it when I was making my list. I don't know why the hell I put them 9th, bro. It had to have been a mistake or something like that. There's no way,
Bro,
man.
me too.
'Cause I was thinking
had
about
them
it. I'm
initially,
like,
then I think I fucked up with my list. I didn't even have
yeah,
them
no.
on
I
my list.
completely fucked up mine. Like when I was going through it, there's no way because I was thinking, I was like,
Just
yo,
one
they beat
loss, yeah.
Arsenal. At the
I
end,
would
they
lynch
got a
Arsenal for them.
result. So I was thinking all this, but I don't know why I put him 9th. Like I must
He
have.
flew to Napoli a few weeks ago.
Holy shit, bro! What a blunder, man. Anyways, I hope they get eliminated so I have a point to prove or some shit like that.
Just for the agendas. Eh?
Yeah, I need to know,
What's
bro.
your
The
name?
agenda starts today. Hate watching Inter Milan. That's crazy. Third, we already spoke about them. I had Sporting Lisbon.
Good show.
I'm so happy
Undefeated.
that we all had them, bro. Because like,
Even
Yeah,
me.
I was thinking
yeah,
like it's gonna be a top 5 leagues only. It's gonna be so lame, and I'm like,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
have to have this team. So I'm glad we all had them.
Flawless.
Yeah, like, bro, there's nothing you can say about them. Like they're tearing up the Portuguese league. They put 4 past the City as well. They're flawless. Like they haven't lost a game all season. They play great. I feel bad, man, that they're taking Amorim away from them, though. I can't lie because
I
it's gonna
don't.
be very interesting to see how it goes.
From
I
here,
don't even
yeah.
know who they're linked to, their next coach or anything like that. I don't know, but
But
like,
he's won his
honestly,
league titles there. Like I feel like
yeah, like
his
he won the
chapter's
league with
over,
them
right?
last year or whatever. Yeah. It was their first league in like 40 years or something like that.
Yeah,
I think
with the
what I
other two
remember,
big
right?
guys there, like that was a pretty big
Yeah,
deal.
but so like yeah, bro, they've been tearing it up. They have very very good players, like a lot of players that will probably
out
be
west.
making
Big
moves.
teams,
Yeah,
next
yeah,
summer for
most
sure.
likely.
Yeah.
All right, top 2. I think we know who top 2 are gonna
I
be,
think we
boys.
do. Yeah.
Now the only question is who is 1 and who is
To
2.
just end the episode here.
Oh no!
Just leave it to the viewers to decide. Top 2, they vote.
All right, no. So the top 2 that we have is Barcelona and Liverpool. I assume.
United.
What?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Man United.
I had Man United.
Brother. God damn.
I had the.
Naeem, Who did you have one? Who did you have two?
Yeah, I think between those two, they're really interchangeable. Like, you can't go wrong with putting one above the other. But for number two, I hate to do this too, but I have Liverpool as my second. They're just like,
You hate to do this to me.
No, I hate to do this in general because I'll tell you
okay.
why when I get
Smile on
to
his
number
face,
one.
man.
But
It's happy.
man, Liverpool just like they suffocated us at the San Siro. I think the engine that Arne Slot has running, he's really building on what Klopp built and just kept it going. I think he has that team like so well set up. There's really like nothing more I can add to that. They're top in the Premier League. They're favorites to win it. So second for me is Liverpool.
If we had done this video when it was
A week
supposed to be
ago,
done,
before-
it would have been
before we
Liverpool
lost.
in second. Yeah. But because Barca lost to Sociedad, a bullshit loss, a BS loss. What the was that
But
call? That offside call that made
Robbery.
no sense.
Robbery.
That's what I
boy.
mean. Like you know it's
Corruption.
bad when I'm calling out because I love seeing Barca's
Corruption.
downfall. You know this. The fact that I'm calling it out, you know it's bad.
But you still love
This
them, right?
happens every year, bro. This happens every
Nah,
year.
nah,
It's
not
just
every
now
year,
that
not
we're,
every
now we're
year.
informed, more people are watching us. But
Anyway, this
happens
is
every
just
year.
a bit more obvious. In other times, it's a bit more like 50-50. This is way more obvious. Anyways, because of that, I have to put Barca in second just because Liverpool, have continued that like
That's
perfect
right.
run, especially in the
Yeah.
UCL. Again, they're interchangeable, literally. Like, if you
Yeah.
say Liverpool, Barca, Liverpool, I'm okay with either.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just, if we had done this last week, it would have been Liverpool, Barca.
Yeah.
This week, it's going to be Barca second.
We'll go
I
ahead.
had Barcelona second.
Okay.
I think obviously very deserving, not just based on where they are, just the eye test too. They just looked really good this season. I think Flick is just killing it there. They're getting results too. I know they got a couple of bad results against them, like this last game against Sociedad, but they're still leading La Liga.
Yeah.
First or second, like all of you guys said, I wouldn't have complained if you put them either or, but
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Like you guys said, like it's very interchangeable, man. You can go either way. If we did this a week ago,
No, bro, we're doing this now.
if we did this a week ago, now I made my list,
A week ago?
and I made my list. Do I want to go against the list that I made?
Yes.
I'm gonna go against the list that I made. I went against the list that I made last time, and it worked out swell for us. All right, so second, I'm going with Liverpool second then. Okay,
That's
so you
against
guys
your
can
list?
guess. Yes,
Oh,
that's
wow.
against my list. So you can guess who was actually on my list. Yeah,
Damn.
because like I said, bro, like all right. So now that we've discussed basically our ones and twos, let's go into more depth. So I'll have Liverpool second, Barcelona first. Now the thing is with both of them, Liverpool top of the league, top of the UCL as well, right? Flawless, I would say. I think they only lost
They're
to
4-0
Nottingham
in the
Forest,
UCL.
right?
Yeah.
They've
Oh,
only
in the
lost to
Prem, sorry,
Forest.
yeah.
Overall, with what I
think so.
remember, they've only lost to Forest.
all season.
But the thing with Barcelona is, if I'm looking at it from like just like the way that they play, bro, Liverpool is amazing as well. But like Barcelona, in my opinion, this season they're just ruthless, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
like? They'll come at you. They'll score 4, 5, 7. They've scored 7, and like I mean, when we did the El Clasico ones, I went through the numbers for attacking wise, how we lead it in a lot of the different charts and stuff like that, and I think that plays a big factor into it. But the thing about me and what we've done this season so far that I think people overlook is the fact that if you look at our depth compared to Liverpool, we don't have big depth, bro. And we were doing this while having 9 players injured, like literally. So we got an L against Osasuna when we literally had 5 of our starters benched, not starting. We lost against Osasuna. Okay, it happens. Sociedad, bro, the last game, I ain't even counting that because a 1-0 against Sociedad and Anoeta, that's a different story altogether. Like in those types of matches, like that 1-0, the Lewandowski goal that was onside, that changes the whole game. So in my eyes, like I can't switch what I thought of Barcelona completely just because of that one game. You know what I mean? So I think just the way that we play, the attacking numbers that we have, and just what Hansi Flick has done in terms of the depth that we've had, bro. I think he's deserving, and we're deserving to be in the number 1 spot. But like I said, it's interchangeable, and I can completely understand why people would have Liverpool at 1. Attacking wise, we're better than them, but defensive wise, they're much better than us as well. But the other thing about Barcelona is like the way that we're playing with the high line, bro. To be doing that, number 1, I'm pretty sure we've caught people offside over 90 times, and we're
80 of
literally
those times has been Mbappe, bro.
yeah. You know what I mean, bro? Like the second, I think, is like 40-ish or something like that at Brighton or something like that. I'm pretty sure. So the way that we play, bro, to be achieving what we've achieved so far this season, yeah, bro. Actually, fuck it, we're number 1, man. Yeah. The thing is, like I said, it's a big risk because we don't have the squad depth. So like down the line, this might come back to bite me in the ass. But as of right now, I think Barcelona is deserving a number one, bro.
You explained number 1 and 2.
Barcelona number 1, yeah.
Barcelona is number 1. Number 2, Liverpool. Like I said, bro, they play great. Like, there's not much to say about them. The way that they're playing, like a lot of people, I don't think anyone expected for them to be doing this with Slot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing with Barcelona is, like, in my opinion, we've played bigger teams as well, and we thrashed them when we played them. You know what I mean? Liverpool, I would say the biggest team that they've played so far maybe is Leverkusen. Anyone else?
And Milan.
They played Milan and they absolutely slapped us.
Like, in terms of, like,
they
coming in
played
from last season to this season.
Them, so.
Arsenal? Yeah, okay. So Arsenal and exactly. That's what I'm saying. But like we played Bayern and we played Bayern and we played Madrid at the Bernabeu and we slapped them, bro. So like in terms of who we've played, big teams, I think I would just edge it to Barcelona. It's going to be interesting to see how they do against Madrid at Anfield. I think they will win. But like, bro, slapping Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu doesn't happen often, bro.
Yeah.
And Bayern as well. Like I know it was in Barca, but still slapping Bayern 4-1 or whatever. Like, bro, against Madrid at Bernabeu, they're lucky they didn't concede 6 or 7. Like, I'm not even joking. Lewandowski should have had a hat trick, or like at least 4 goals. That's what I'm saying. So, anyways,
so number 1, I had Barcelona, and let me explain like why I have Barcelona over Liverpool. I think Liverpool, in my opinion, is a better team, but just based off the pure eye test, they're what is it like? They have the most goals out of all the teams in Europe, and their attacking trio is just like they're just a fun watch, you know. Liverpool's more of like a system, like just purely based off that, just like how enjoying it is to watch, you know, the front three just go at it. And the suicide football that, you know, Hansi Flick plays with that high line, it's just you know, you watch a game and, you know, you're not on your phone scrolling or whatever. You're just like walking like, wow, this is
you're locked
great
in,
to watch.
bro.
You're locked in, right? Lamine Yamal having a great season. Rafinha probably best player in La Liga right now. Lewandowski for me number 1, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Liverpool and Barca play tomorrow. Who wins and what's the result?
Jasser asked me this, bro, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be.
Where's the game at?
Anfield or
Anfield,
where's the
giving
game?
it to Liverpool.
Anfield, they're winning. I can't lie, bro.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you reverse it, if it's at Barca, I can't like.
Yeah,
that's
what do you
more
guys think? Not the
even.
Camp Nou. It's somewhere else right now. I don't know.
That's more even because we don't have the Camp Nou either,
So
bro.
let's say
yeah.
neutral ground in like fucking Cardiff or something.
I don't know, but I
Where's
know
the Champions League final this year?
I know it's gonna be a good game.
It is in it's in Allianz Arena in Munich. So in Munich. In Munich, UCL final. You got Liverpool, Barca. Who's winning it? Like if it was tomorrow, if that was the final.
Fit squad.
If it's tomorrow,
fully fit squad. Are we doing fully fit squad? Because you got to take into consideration we don't even have our best CB.
Let's do this current form right now with this squad. It's like you can't.
Alisson, Jota.
No, let's do current fitness. Yeah, current fitness.
Bro, all I'm saying is if Tsimikas starts against Lamine, that brother's beat.
Oh god, it's over. Yeah.
If Tsimikas starts against Lamine Yamal, they're gonna have to double team that brother because there's no if it's a 1v1,
it's a hard call though. Like I can't say clearly one or the other.
Yeah, of course, yeah. I don't know, bro.
I don't know.
I can't say
pick one.
2-2 penalties, like.
I think we have a good chance of winning, bro. I'm looking at their threats. So if I was to think about it strategically, their threats are the wingers as of right now, in my opinion. Luis Diaz and Salah. Balde, I really like Balde, bro. Like Balde, the speed that he has, I'm not saying that he'll lock up Salah, but I think he can do a job against Salah, in my opinion. And then on the other side, Luis Diaz against Koundé. Koundé, he's played against some like high level wingers
again today,
and he's playing great, bro. So like.
Yep.
Lewandowski, Van Dijk, or Konate, they're gonna have to be watching him like a hawk because he still has that poacher instinct. You know what I mean? So, and then you're gonna have to leave Rafinha and Lamine against like 1v1 situations. Rafinha against Trent, you never know how that goes, and then Lamine against Tsimikas if he starts. I'll say we win.
Even if it's a 55-45 kind of thing, you know.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's close. I would say maybe we win like a 2-1. Maybe we win like a 2-1. Like, that's the thing. We score a lot, but they have a great defense.
So with them, but like if you win, it will be like a close 2-1, 3-2.
But I think it can go either way. That's the thing. Yeah. But if I'm looking at it like strategically right now, bro, I think we can exploit or we can contain their biggest threats as of right now
and exploit theirs.
That's the thing. Yeah. But they can the pace that they have with like Salah. If that high line isn't working, they can tear shit up as well. That's the thing. We thought about that against like arguably the most lethal attack, Madrid, and they weren't able to exploit it that well as well. So it depends, bro. It's very close. But I would say 2-1 Barca.
There's only one team that can be first domestically in Champions League. It's Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it was kind of... But I mean, hey, like Barcelona being first, you guys made great arguments. Like the eye test, just the way they've been playing. They are like the excitement, the young team and everything. So I don't disagree with any of that, but I just put Liverpool first. And, looking at their team, last year everybody said it was the last dance with Klopp. I think this year is the last dance. The reason I say that is because you look at some of their players, Van Dijk, Salah, Trent, a lot of these guys, their contracts are running down. They're going to lose a lot of these big key players, their captains, their leaders in their dressing room. So this might be their last dance this season, So could you imagine if they go on and win the league this year with Slot in his first year?
Jazz is not going to be able to sleep, bro.
Bro, you got lost everything. That's going to be crazy.
I have to find out what Ten Hag lives, bro. Because what the...
Not that, bro. The Arsenal mans are going to have uncomfortable conversations about Arteta.
Well, I'm talking about the Dutch coach, I meant. Like, we're having a lot of uncomfortable...
You're talking about ball Dutch
I'm
coach.
talking about that guy, yeah. It's like, what are we doing here, guys?
I just wanted to add as well for Barcelona having them number one. I feel like if you think about, obviously, if you talk to people that are like neutral, if you're like, yo, what's one team that you want to watch, you want to tune into right now, right? I feel like majority of people would say, I want to tune in.
A lot of people
Barcelona.
are neutral to Barcelona, right?
Of course, bro, but
you either love him or hate him.
That's what I'm saying. Even if you don't watch
there's a
La
reason,
Liga,
bro. There's actually a psychological reason why a lot of people like our generation hate Barca, bro.
What do you mean
If we're being honest here.
What psychology?
Did like you grew up during your formation years as a youth watching? You grew up and they were dominating, bro. They were
Barca,
slapping.
They were stealing victories.
Well, you can say
away
that
from
about
Chelsea.
like I guess the United generation in the early 2000s. So there's a lot of
and that's
people
why
hate.
a lot of people hated United.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that was
But
like
our
15
generation,
years.
for example,
you didn't watch
our
15
age,
years
bro.
of Barca, like.
No, but our age growing up, bro, when we started to watch
Yeah,
footy,
true. Yeah, like
Barcelona was like
15 years ago.
majority
Like
of-
like Barca was just.
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
true.
Like, Barca was
Messi
slapping
hurt
up.
me. Messi
Barca
hurt me.
slapped up all three of your teams,
Alright,
bro.
bro.
Yeah, they
like
did.
no offense, but
Relax.
No, they did.
that's what I mean. Like the only mans that don't hate us is Liverpool, and there's a reason for that because like they have a good history against us. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And they probably hate Madrid a little bit more because of the two finals and Ramos and everything.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they probably have more beef with Madrid. That's the thing. It's like psychological at the end of the day, bro.
It's all like tribal,
Yeah. If you could make one change in your list, so I don't know, either add a team or put a team higher, lower, whatever you want, what would that be?
Look, I'm still not adding Man City into my list, but if there's one team I would put higher, I'd put Monaco above Fiorentina, Juventus into fifth, I think is what I had in that. So I'd put Monaco into like top 5 or top 6. So
like I said, my honorable mentions, I said like there's Monaco and Napoli. Like I'd probably put one of them in there, and if I had to kick out a team, it would probably be Madrid somehow. But I feel like I'm okay with my list right now. I'm gonna leave it as is, but if I absolutely had to, either Monaco or Napoli would get in there somehow.
So no, I would have had Inter probably like definitely top 5.
Tell me who would you kick out, I guess.
Form and everything, either Real or City. I would go either of those.
I don't think I would add or take anyone out. The only thing that I would do, like I said, Inter, I would have Inter higher, bro, like much higher.
Top 5?
I still don't know why. Yeah, I would probably have them, I would say maybe 4th.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
then just bump everyone down 1. There you guys have it. That is our top 10 power rankings. As of right now, 1/3 into the season, like we said. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Let us know who you guys think is the best team currently in the world. Like, share, subscribe. We have a lot of people that watch our videos that are not subscribed. As of right now, we hit 50. Let's make it 100 slowly. Take a look into our other videos as well. We've done different lists, different drafts and stuff like that. And yeah, from everyone at Footy Gents, me, Eris, Amirali, Naeem, Gyokerish, I guess. Take care, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.